everyone. Over the last 5 months, I have increased my calorie intake by 650 calories without gaining a single pound of fat through a process called reverse dieting. So in this video, I am going to break down for you my reverse diet results and how I felt about this journey and kind of how I got here. For those of you who are new to my channel and haven't been following me on this journey or don't know what reverse dieting is, it is basically what it sounds like. It is the opposite of a diet. It is a structured protocol designed to speed up your metabolism without gaining excess body fat by gradually eating more and more over time. The thing is that your body is a homeostasis machine. It wants you to maintain your current weight wherever it may be at. And so if you do things that would naturally cause your body to gain weight or to lose weight, your body is going to upregulate and downregulate different pathways to compensate, to keep you at your current weight. This is why you eventually plateau in a calorie deficit and you can't make any more progress unless you keep dropping your calories. So if you're maintaining weight on 2,000 calories and you cut down to 1,500 calories to lose weight, you will be in a deficit at first, but then your body's gonna start adapting and it's gonna start slowing down your metabolism so that you stop burning as many calories, you're no longer in a deficit, and eventually your cutting calories become your maintenance calories, and now you're maintaining weight on 1,500 calories. This process is called metabolic adaptation, and if you've been dieting for a while, if you felt like you've been just super stuck in your weight loss journey, this is why. And reverse dieting is how you fix this, because the good news is that a slow metabolism is not a broken metabolism. Just as the metabolism can slow down to compensate for a calorie deficit, it can speed up to compensate for a calorie surplus. So metabolic adaptation is the principle behind reverse dieting. As you gradually eat more and more over time, your metabolism speeds up to compensate, and now you are maintaining weight on more calories than you ever thought possible. I've taken many clients through the process of reverse dieting, and I've had them speed up their metabolism anywhere from 500 to up to 1,600 calories without gaining weight. And in some cases, they lost weight in the process. So if you feel completely stuck in your weight loss journey, if you've ever broken down in tears because you feel like you're trying literally everything and nothing is working for you, and maybe your body's just broken and you'll never be able to do what you're trying to do, or if you feel like just looking at pizza makes you gain weight, then you probably just have a slow metabolism. It probably has just adapted to your constant efforts to lose weight and thus has made it harder for you to lose weight. Trust me, weight loss is a lot easier when you can maintain weight on 2,500 calories instead of 1,500 calories. So if you're in a place where you want to lose weight, but you feel like nothing's working, you're stuck in the world's longest plateau, or maybe you lost the weight, but you feel like you're starving all the time, or you have to be super restrictive and diligent about your food in order to not gain the weight back, then you should absolutely consider reverse dieting. Basically, if you want more food freedom while working towards or maintaining a leaner physique, reverse dieting is for you. So that said, let's talk about my personal goals for my reverse diet, because everyone's reverse diet journey is gonna be a little bit different. Y'all are coming from different places, you're gonna have different goals, and that's okay. So at the end of last year, I finished a cut where I lost about 10 pounds of body fat. Before I started the cut, my maintenance calories were about, I think, 2,000 calories. My ending calories for my cut were 1,700 calories. I do think that was a little bit below my maintenance because I was pretty successfully and sustainably and slowly losing weight on them, but that is what I was eating when I decided to finish my cut because I had lost all the weight that I wanted to lose. I didn't know where my actual new maintenance calories were. I did lose some mass, so it was probably lower than 2,000, but I didn't really care because I knew I wanted to reverse diet beyond 2,000 anyway, so I just started reverse dieting from the cutting calories of 1,700. So my goal for this reverse diet was to get my calorie intake back up beyond 2,000 calories without gaining body fat, basically without undoing all of the progress I had made on my cut. And I didn't know where I wanted my ending calories to be. I didn't have a specific goal. I just knew that it was probably more than 2,000. Probably less than 2,500 because I'd gotten to 2,500 before. I had to think about food all the time in order to eat enough, and I didn't want to get there. So I knew it was gonna be like somewhere in that range. But I wanted to get to an intake where I could confidently switch to intuitive eating, because it's been a while since I have just eaten intuitively for like an extended period of time. So I wanna be able to switch to that, but I wanted to get my maintenance calories to a point where when I did switch to that, I was 100% confident that I could eat exactly the way that I wanted, eat the types of foods that I wanted, really truly listen to my body and know that I had enough like metabolic flexibility built in there to kind of just eat whatever. For context, for anyone new around here, my favorite breakfast that I like to make, my chocolate frosty smoothie bowl, when I make it the way that like I really like it with all the good stuff, it can be about 1,000 calories for breakfast. So like, your girl likes to eat. My favorite foods that I like are full of fat, which is great, but that also means that they're full of calories. So I wanted my maintenance to be at a level where I could just eat all the good fat, all of the good things, and not worry about it. So that was my main goal, was basically rebuilding food freedom and food flexibility without gaining body fat. And then my secondary goal was building some muscle, because that is often a side effect of a reverse diet, and I figured, why not? I would like a little bit more muscle mass, so it would be cool if I built some. So as far as the process went, I started at 1,700 calories and just slowly, gradually, incrementally increased my calorie intake over the course of about 4 months. And then for the last about month, I have been maintaining on 2,350 calories. Last time I did a reverse diet, I was pretty precise about everything. I was in a position in life where I could easily be precise about everything, so I was. So I increased by 50 calories every single week until I got to my goal. This time, I was a little bit more lax about everything. I had a lot more weeks where I just did bigger jumps in calories and a lot more weeks where I didn't increase my calories. I think on average, it averaged out to about a 50 calorie increase per week, but for the most part, I wasn't really being super precise. I was kind of just letting my natural hunger just slowly ramp up my calories when I got hungry for it. And there's a couple of reasons I decided to be super chill about it this time. One, I just felt like being more chill about it. I didn't feel like being super precise. I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility built in, so I just gave myself the space to be more flexible about things. But also, for me, it was not going to be the end of the world if I did gain 1 or 2 or 3, even 4 pounds of body fat in this process. I would not have been upset at all. And then lastly, since I did kind of want to give myself a better chance at building more muscle during this process, having bigger jumps in calorie increases actually would have put me in a slightly bigger surplus, which would have been more advantageous for building muscle. But honestly, it was really because I couldn't be bothered to be super precise while reverse dieting this time. And I actually graphed my calorie intake as I went through this process. I got like 3 months in and I was like, this would be interesting. So I made a graph of it, and I haven't input any data in the last like month. So it's not the full picture, but it shows you day to day, my calories were all over the place. But if you look at the trend line, on average, they were just slowly and steadily increasing. So what I cared more about in this process was just the trend line, not the day-to-day numbers. So that's basically my food intake. I tried to prioritize getting enough protein, making sure I was eating carbs, because y'all know me, I love my fat, but carbs are really helpful when you're trying to speed up your metabolism and build muscle. So I was trying to like just lean a little bit more on carbs, make sure I was eating enough protein, and then just slowly and steadily increasing my calories. And then as far as training went, I trained about 5 days per week following a program that I wrote for myself. The first half of the reverse diet, I was training for strength, so like heavy weight, low reps, lots of rest, etc. And then for the second half of my reverse diet, I was training more for hypertrophy, so muscle growth, the like 8 to 12 rep range with like a minute of rest, 3 to 4 sets, that kind of deal. I actually just posted a whole video going through basically the entire workout programming that I was doing in the second half of my reverse diet. If you guys do want to learn more about how I was training for my reverse diet, I'll leave a link to that down in the description. But yeah, that was the process. All in all, it's been about 5 months since I started, but I was really reverse dieting for like 4 months and then just kind of maintaining this last month. So let's talk about the benefits that I got out of this reverse diet, because this is where I'm super excited. First and foremost, I got so freaking strong. Like this is my favorite thing about training. It's just like feeling strong and getting better at being strong. Like it's fun. I love it. And during this reverse diet is when I actually hit a lot of strength benchmarks that I knew I wouldn't really be 100% satisfied until I hit them. I finally got there. So during this reverse diet, I hit multiple pull-up PRs, 1 weighted pull-up and 1 body weight pull-up PR. I got to 1, and if we're being honest, 1 3/4 reps, not 2 full reps. I couldn't quite get my chin over on the last rep, but with a 45-pound plate with pull-ups. And then I also worked my way up to 15 straight body weight pull-ups. I hit a squat PR of 1.6 times body weight. I was aiming for 1.5 times body weight, so I'm stoked on that. And then I also got my deadlift up to 2 times my body weight and my bench up to my body weight. And I'm like so proud of myself. Like I feel so good about that. It's my favorite thing about the reverse diet. I don't care about the calories. I don't care about the fact that I didn't gain fat. I am strong, and that makes me happy. But beyond strength benefits, I also got like satiety, food freedom benefits. Once I got beyond like 2,200 calories, I was very satiated all of the time. It's gotten me to the point where I have zero cravings now. Like I can just, if I get hungry, I'm just like, okay, like what does my body want? What does my body need? And then I can go eat that and I'm good. And I don't really think much about food otherwise because I'm not like craving food in the middle. I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full, and like everything is super balanced. And it's kind of taken away emotion around food, not in like a negative way. Like it's taken away any like negative emotion around food. Like I have a good relationship with food anyway, so I didn't really have negative emotion around food, but it just helps me feel so much more objective when I'm thinking about what to eat. And don't get me wrong, I can still like enjoy food. Like it's still fun to like go hang out with my mom and like go try all the like good gluten-free pastries and like have a good time doing that. Like it's not like I feel nothing when I think about food. It just doesn't feel like such an integral thing to how I feel. It's more, it just feels like more of an afterthought. Like I don't have to think about it, which is nice. And then also throughout the process of reverse dieting, I actively had to incorporate more dessert into my life to be able to hit my calories, especially as I was pushing higher and higher and I started to feel really, really full. I needed to get those calories in without them being extremely satiating so my body could like adapt to the higher calorie count. And I knew that once it did, like I would be able to kind of shift my diet back to how I normally like to eat. But the cool thing with that, with reverse dieting, that I noticed with a lot of clients too, is as they incorporate more and more calories and they have to find more and more sources of calories, you can start to use foods that you may have been afraid of as tools. And so you can start seeing all of these foods in such a different light, because now pizza, ice cream, burgers, cakes, things that maybe you felt guilt for eating before or felt like these things were going to undo your progress, now they're necessary for your progress. Now they are actually helpful in achieving your aesthetic goals. And so it can completely reframe your mindset around these foods that otherwise may seem a little bit scary. So the amount of like food freedom mentally and physically that a reverse diet can bring is just tremendous. As far as like negative side effects or drawbacks of this process, I didn't really have any. Last time when I reverse dieted and I was pushing myself to 2,500 calories, I definitely felt like I was force feeding myself a little bit, which was maybe like a little bit of a negative drawback. But this time, since I was happy to stop once I got to the point where like I felt like I was kind of on that border where like I don't really want to eat anymore at all, like not one more bite, but I'm happy with the amount that I've eaten. I never got to the point where I was feeling like I was force feeding myself for an extended period of time or anything. I got to like a good happy point, and that's where I stayed. So let's talk about the big stuff. How my body actually changed during this process. Did I gain muscle? Did I put on any amount of fat? Did my body composition change? I got DEXA scans for you guys, so this is gonna be fun. So as far as how my weight changed, between ending my cut and starting my reverse diet, I was averaging around like 113-ish pounds. And now, for the last month of maintaining, I've been averaging about 116-ish pounds. So that is a 3-pound increase on the scale. But let's break down what that actually has looked like inside the body. So I have pulled up my DEXA scan results. So I got my first one like 2 weeks after I finished my cut at the beginning of the year, and then I got the most recent one like last week. So as you can see, my total body fat percentage is reading exactly the same. My total mass, in theory, it says that I lost a pound, but this is not accurate. The thing with any data or numbers is that they are a complete snapshot in time and are not necessarily reflective of like the average over a week or over 2 weeks, which is much more important and much more reliable data. So I don't really know what was going on with my first DEXA scan. I honestly don't really remember why my weight would have been a little bit higher. Maybe it was just like natural weight fluctuation. You know, your weight naturally fluctuates like 3 to 5 pounds. So maybe it was just a day where my weight was like naturally higher than the average. Maybe I had eaten before I went in or drank a ton of water. I, again, honestly, don't don't remember. And then my weight when I went in this last time is a pound lower than average. So it looks like I lost weight. I didn't. I am definitely up approximately 3 pounds. So it also says, as you can see, that I lost 0.2 pounds of fat tissue, which is interesting. And then it also says I lost 0.7 pounds of lean tissue. But here's the thing about DEXA scans. Again, remember, this is a snapshot. I can pretty confidently say I did not lose muscle during this process. Here's something interesting that I actually learned while creating Reverse Dieting 101, my course on reverse dieting. That's actually live today for early bird access. But apparently water weight in a DEXA scan registers as lean tissue. So if you hop in a DEXA scan, get scanned, and then chug 5 pounds of water and get scanned again, it's gonna think you gained 5 pounds of lean mass. So even though DEXA scans are one of the most reliable ways to measure body fat percentage, they can still be tricked and fooled. When I went in for my second DEXA scan, I had not drank anything that day at all. I definitely felt a little bit dehydrated. And then I asked the DEXA scan guy about it, and I was like, oh, is it true that like your water weight gets registered as lean mass? He's like, yeah, that's why we don't recommend that you exercise before coming in for a DEXA scan. I was like, oh, I didn't exercise that day, but I had been in the sun and I had been sweating a lot. So I sweated out what would have registered as lean mass. So the larger takeaway from this is that my body really didn't change too much from January until now while increasing my calories by 650 calories. But if we want to dive into the nitty gritty real quick, I don't think there's a way to fool the fat mass part of the DEXA scan. So I think it is accurate that I lost 0.2 pounds of fat mass. So I actually lost a tiny amount of fat on my reverse diet, which means that the 3 pounds of mass that I did gain on my reverse diet is either muscle mass or water or a combination of the two. I'm inclined to think it is a combination of the two. The water weight that I would have gained would come from the increased intake of carbs, because for every gram of carbs that you eat, your body stores a little bit more water. And then also I started taking creatine during this process, and creatine causes your body to store water within the muscles. So I probably gained about 1 to 2 pounds of water weight during this process, which means I gained 1 to 2 pounds of muscle during this process. I'm happy to split the difference and call it 1.5 pounds of muscle, 1.5 pounds of water. I don't really know. Again, DEXA scan is within the range of error. It's not gonna tell me specifically, so the best we can do is guess. The inconclusiveness of this data is why progress pictures are also so important when you're on any sort of aesthetic journey. So let's take a look at my before and after pictures. And I also want to throw in the like before of my pre-cut physique, because I feel like that's more reflective of like my journey as a whole. So we have my pre-weight loss before, my post-weight loss before, and my current physique. Pictures are one of the best metrics of progress because they tell a story from a much different angle than the numbers. So looking at my before and my current physique, I feel like I basically look the same, which was the goal. From the front, I think I look a smidge leaner actually, but that could easily be just like a difference in lighting, so I'm not gonna count that. From the side, I also feel like I look the same. And then from the back, there isn't much difference either, except I noticed that my glutes are actually more even, which is super exciting. Before, my left glute was noticeably smaller, which I honestly didn't notice until I was comparing these two, but my left glute was noticeably smaller, but now they look a lot more even. I have a structural imbalance in my spine that actually makes it hard to activate my glutes evenly, so this is actually huge and fixed a problem that I've had forever, so I'm pretty stoked about it. I ended with a lot more ab definition than I thought I'd end this process with. I did figure I'd gain at least 1 to 2 pounds of fat during this process, but apparently I didn't, so my core is still lean, which is pretty cool. I'm also pretty happy with my back definition as well. I think upping my pull-up game made a little difference here. And then the thing that I'm most excited about is my legs. I have never seen so much definition in my legs, so I'm pretty sure I added a good amount of muscle there. Like, I don't know, it might not look like a lot of definition, but like I've just never really had definition on my legs, so I'm pretty darn excited about that development. I actually just remembered that I took measurements before I did this process. I totally forgot about this while I was writing down my notes for this video. I took measurements before and I just decided to remeasure. I've lost 1/2 inch in my waist and my glutes have grown by 3/4 inch. That's super exciting. Although important to note, data, again, still just a snapshot. For the most accurate data, I should like average for the week, but so I am pretty excited with my results for this reverse diet. I feel like I achieved my goals and got to where I wanted to be, and I'm in a very like happy, balanced place, and we're good. So from here, I think I want to shift back to intuitive eating and shift my training to be more like mobility, like fluidity of movement focused. Like, my next goal for myself is to just feel more fluid and natural in movement. I've always had like very poor flexibility, and so I've always felt like kind of more stiff in movement, and I really want to be able to like just go through a yoga flow and feel like good and feel like flowy and not feel like I'm like in pain struggling in downward dog. Like, I want my movement itself to feel like beautiful and graceful and flowy. I want to have like mastery of how my body moves. So I think I'm gonna do more yoga. I think I'm gonna scale back on the lifting a little bit to like create more space for yoga and mobility work and that kind of training. Maybe some like more gymnastics-y style training. I haven't written myself a program yet, so I don't quite know what it's gonna look like, but I will share it with you guys when I do embark on this new phase of my journey. So if you want to learn how to reverse diet and do what I just did, increase your maintenance calories by hundreds of calories without gaining weight, you are in luck. Registration for Reverse Dieting 101, the Metabolism Repair Manual, which is my comprehensive course on reverse dieting that I just created, opens July 1st. But if you are on the Holistic Fitness Labs email list, or if you are following the Holistic Fitness Labs Instagram, you already have early bird access and a discount. So if you want to register for the course and save money and make sure you actually get a spot, because spaces are limited, make sure you do subscribe to the newsletter or follow me on Instagram at Holistic Fitness Labs. So make sure you do that today so that you don't miss out. And if you do follow us on Instagram to get the discount, send us a DM and we will send you the discount code. So Reverse Dieting 101 is a comprehensive, and when I say comprehensive, I mean comprehensive course on reverse dieting that will give you literally everything that you need to know to speed up your metabolism and minimize fat gain in the process. It will walk you step by step through how to plan your reverse diet unique to you and your body and your experience and your history. So if you're feeling stuck or defeated or angry or broken in your fitness journey, I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, there is hope. Like, you can make progress. You can get yourself out of this, and reverse dieting is literally the answer. I've taken so many clients through this process and just seen it transform so many people's lives. Like, just imagine you don't have to think about every single little calorie and be super precise about everything. You don't have to feel guilty or compelled to work out longer the next day because you ate an extra cookie. You don't have to feel like you're restricting and starving all the time just to prevent gaining weight, let alone how you need to feel to lose weight. Imagine if you could maintain weight on more than 2,000 calories. Imagine being able to like go out on date night or go out with friends and indulge in dessert or like a cheeseburger and french fries and a milkshake and not feel guilty, not think it's gonna make you gain weight, not stress about how you're gonna have to like starve for the next 3 days to compensate for it. This course will teach you how to speed up your metabolism so that you can finally break out of that yo-yo dieting cycle and make fitness feel good. I see a lot of hesitation from people in reverse dieting thinking that the next thing that they try is just it's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be the next quick fix. They're gonna lose all the weight and it's gonna work and they won't have to reverse diet or be scared of gaining fat while reverse dieting because the next quick fix is gonna be the thing that works. But how many things have you tried? And how far has that gotten you? The next quick fix is never going to be the answer. To get different results, you have to do something different. So instead of continuously trying to diet, try reverse dieting. So if you enroll in Reverse Dieting 101, you're gonna get hours of video lectures that also come as a PDF format in case you just prefer reading through information or you just wanna like Control F, find something really quick rather than having to like sort through a bunch of different videos. Also, all of the lectures come in audio format in case you want to like learn on the go, take me on a walk with you. You also get group support in a Facebook group with all of your classmates. Reverse dieting can be scary for a lot of people because you're actively eating in a surplus, which is like the opposite of what diet culture tells us we should literally ever do. And so being surrounded by a bunch of other people going through the same process who can reassure you, who can be sharing their stories, who you can share your stories with, might be just what you need to like get you through this process, get you to commit to it, and get your metabolism to speed itself up. Then it also includes group coaching from yours truly. I will be in the Facebook group answering questions, making sure you're all on the right track, and then there will be monthly live workshops where I will compile all of like the biggest, most frequently asked questions and go through all those, talk to you guys live. If you can't make it to a live workshop, they will be recorded and sent out to everyone in the course. But that's where we're gonna like dive deep into anything else that you might have questions on to make sure that like you know what you need to do so that you can have the confidence to reverse diet. So if you're interested and you want to learn more, you can go to reversedieting101.com. Registration closes on July 12th and there's limited capacity because of the group coaching component. I can't just take on like thousands of people. So get in while you can, and if you do have any questions about the course, feel free to leave a comment or shoot me an email at hello@holisticfitnesslabs.com. I am so unbelievably excited to be putting this out into the world. Like, I have poured my heart and soul into this course over the last 6 months. Like, it is everything that I could ever want this course to be. Like, you guys know me, if you've gotten any of my ebooks, they're like extensive. I put a lot into them. This is just bigger and better. And like, reverse dieting is magical. Like, it's not magic, it's science. But like, when you're doing it, it feels like magic, and it has the power to just transform so many people's lives and so many people's relationship with their bodies and with food and with fitness. And like, I just can't wait to get people in this and get people started and like help you get to where you want to be. So thank you to everyone who may have signed up already, anyone who's considering registering for the course. Again, let me know if you have any questions. I am here to answer them, and if you do register, I will see you inside. If not, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me on my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. If you want to see more content from me all about fitness and reverse dieting, you can check it out over here. See future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.